Hi, and welcome to the show. We're going to spend the night talking about the death of Osama bin Laden, and to do it, I'm very pleased to welcome to the stage former FBI Special Agent Jim Davis and Middle East and Muslim expert from the University of Denver, Shaul Gabbay. Gentlemen, thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
It's been quite a week, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
Shaul, let me start with you. What was your very first reaction Sunday night when you heard this news?
Well, you know, this is one of those occasions where you always remember where you've been, and then particularly with this case, where you've been 9 years ago, or 9 years and 7 months. And, you know, I recall when I just came to Colorado, and I was a new professor, assistant professor at the University of Denver. I had a 3-month-old baby, and, you know, suddenly the unspeakable happened. I got a phone call from New York, and yourself even, you know, in a few minutes I had my front lawn full with the media. People didn't even know where is Afghanistan.
Did you think this day would come eventually?
I thought that it's going to come. I didn't know how exactly it's going to play out. I can tell you that on a daily basis with my work, we were ridiculed for all these years for not apprehending Osama bin Laden. I believe that it will come in one way or another, but truthfully, the precision, the commitment, the way that it was executed, no one, I think, would imagine that at that time.
Was that your reaction somewhat similar when you heard?
It was. I mean, I was relieved, obviously, and it is a great thing, a great accomplishment for our country and our military, our intelligence apparatus. But you know, the thing is that in the global war on terror, it wasn't all that important, right? Bin Laden had been marginalized significantly by the pressure,
some time ago, right?
Right, by the pressure that we'd put on him. So you know, he is a figure, you know, and he was the symbol of Al Qaeda. He was the symbol for the American people of 9/11, and it's good that we got him. But you know, really, the war on terror is much bigger than going after bin Laden.
Than any one person. When you think about the war on terror and you think about what it took to get bin Laden, how could they have this planned for 6 months, this attack, and not have a single leak, and that no one knew about this?
Well, I'll tell you that I thought of that at the time, and I was very excited to hear that we were able to do that. When I was with the FBI, we had the Zazi investigation here in Colorado, and it was a great example of, you know, the government just leaking, you know, like a sieve, letting information out. And
this was different, Jim, wasn't it?
It was, and they did a fantastic job with OPSEC on this.
How involved is an operation like this? When all of us read that it takes 40 minutes to go in and actually do it, did they actually practice this in Afghanistan for the weeks leading up to this?
Well, you know, what I know is what I've seen in the media, and I know, and I know that that's what they would have done. You know, I'm confident that an operation like this, they would have trained and prepared for it, because it was such an important mission, and frankly, you know, it's a pretty dangerous mission to think that they are flying that far into Pakistan to pull this off. I mean, those guys are something else.
Yeah,
I mean,
they are.
Our special forces operators are amazing, and you know, we should all sleep well at night knowing that they're out there.
You're probably like me. You watch television like we all did on Sunday night.
Oh, no question about it.
Were you personally surprised at the scenes of celebration from Americans, or do people have the right to react any way they want to any sort of news?
I think that, you know, this is such a huge achievement, and like Jim is suggesting, it's so important at all levels, at the Obama level, at the cabinet, and then when it trickles down, we so much needed some good news, you know, in so many levels, at economic level and security level. So I think it was just a spontaneous
outpouring.
Emotional outpouring, exactly, and which is legitimate and which is good for us.
And you're fine with it.
And no question about it. I think that, you know, if you study the Middle East closely, and you know, I was more interested in you know, how the media in the Arab world reacts.
I want to talk about
parts
that too.
of the we'll talk about it. So I was more tuned to that, and even what I was doing throughout the media was mostly over the phone, because I was constantly monitoring what is happening in the Arab world. What is is important is how also the reactions are there, because as Jim suggested, it for itself, Osama bin Laden was out of the game for quite a while. We were after them. They were on the run. That's why we didn't have another September 11. But then the question is, how do we move forward?
How do we
and
move
how
forward?
do we move forward is very much to do with the perception in the Arab world, in the Muslim world, particularly in the extreme parts of that world. And then what do we do about it? And how do we still continue with the resources, including those that we apprehended in his home?
Before we go to a commercial break here, can we all agree that because of the rules of engagement in war, we can't come out and say we went in to get him, that it was a capture or kill, but can we kind of reasonably assume that our Navy SEALs did what they were ordered